आदर्श व्यक्ति की ये पहचान है, जो मन वचन कर्म से पवित्र है। वो चरित्रवान ही यहाँ महान है। पवित्र मन रखो, पवित्र तन रखो, पवित्रता मनुष्यता की शान है। जो मन वचन कर्म से पवित्र है, वो चरित्रवान ही यहाँ महान है। तुम अपनी आँख में अमृत रखो, विमल विमल सदा विमल विमल। तुम अपनी आँख में अमृत रखो, विमल विमल सदा विमल विमल। तुम्हारी वाणी में माधुर्य हो, सरल सरल सदा सरल सरल। तुम हो के निर्विकार, सबका करो सत्कार। तुम हो के निर्विकार, सबका करो सत्कार। ये जन्म तुम्हारा इम्तिहान है, जो मन वचन कर्म से पवित्र है, वो चरित्रवान ही यहाँ महान है। पवित्र मन रखो, पवित्र तन रखो, पवित्रता मनुष्यता की शान है। जो मन वचन कर्म से पवित्र है, वो चरित्रवान ही यहाँ महान है। पवित्र मन रखो, 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 पवित्र मन रखो।
Om Shanti. Today we have Shivani Ben, who shall be continuing yesterday's Murli. Over to you, Shivani Ben.
Om Shanti. So the Murli that we are reading since yesterday and today is around the attainments of purity. We'll just quickly summarize what Baba said yesterday before we move on today. So yesterday when we were journeying, we were able to summarize some of the main points which were discussed in the Murli. Baba spoke about purity and what exactly is purity. It's not just being brahmachari, but it's also being brahmachari. Yeah. So that's what he spoke about purity. He also asked us to stop focusing on the means and start focusing on the spiritual endeavor. Baba said that spiritual endeavor is the powerful remembrance and that too constant. So if we are in powerful remembrance and constant powerful remembrance, that is what our spiritual endeavor should be. And the means is just to reach there. But once we reach there, we need to stabilize. Then Baba said that what is the reason that we become tired and bored in our efforts, our purusharth? So Baba mentioned that there are lots of fluctuations in our stage because we are not able to stabilize ourselves sometimes in the spiritual endeavor. And hence we stop feeling the progress and the attainments. And that happens again when we focus too much on the means and not on the end. Baba also said that spiritual endeavor is not just sitting in yoga, but it is the alignment of the heart, the mind, the intellect and the body all together while sitting in yoga and facing towards Baba, And then Baba went on to speak about 4 types of service: the service for the self, service for the world, service through the mind, and service through actions. And that's where we stop. We'll do today the remaining part of the Murli. What I thought is that Baba is as a father, as a very close father. He's just sitting with all us children and giving us directions, and that's how we should listen to the Murli, the remaining part of the Murli today. So let's go on. So yesterday, as Baba was speaking about the 4 kinds of service, and he said that every grain of yagya is equal to a sovereign, and he was talking about the yagya seva. So he continues around service itself, and then Baba was also mentioning yesterday towards the end that service through words and service through mind, what is the difference between both of them? So Baba says, but service through words is easy, is it not? You have to pay a little attention to service through the mind. And so this is why you're able to accumulate the account of words, but the account of mind remains empty. So even when we are doing service through words, which Baba calls Vani, we should also continue to do service through the mind, our Sankalp. And all of you are, and that is through Shubh Bhavna and Shubh Kamna also. And all of you are even more clever than the father when it comes to words. The little ones of today give even better lectures than the dadis. It is new blood. It is good. You may go forward. Bap Dada is happy and the dadis are also happy. But what will happen when the account of the mind remains empty? Because there are 100 marks for each account, you have claimed 100 marks for service through words. But what about service through the mind and actions? All 3 are important, and Baba said that he's keeping an account of all 3 kinds of service. Do not consider service through action simply. To do physical service, to do cleaning and washing dishes. You do this in the foreign lands anyway, but service through actions means to be part of a gathering, to come into relationship and connection with others. And this is accumulated in the account of actions. So this comes as an answer to a question that had come up yesterday. So Baba is answering when we talk about service through actions, it means being a part of a gathering when we are coming in contact with others, to come into relationship and connection, and through our actions showcase Baba's virtues and our virtues and deity's virtues. That's what service through action really means. And that's when the account of actions is accumulated. So there's a lot of difference in all the 3 accounts of many. Yet they continue to be happy that they are doing a lot, that they are very good. So Baba is reminding us that all 3 kinds of service are important. Neither is more important than the other. And the account has to be balanced and maintained amongst each of them. You may remain happy, but the account should not remain empty either. Because Bap Dada has love for the children. You cannot complain that you were not given a signal that this also happens. Baba's reminding us tomorrow, don't complain that I didn't tell you. At that time, Bap Dada will remind you of this point. This image will appear on the television. This is why this year you may do a lot of service, but keep these 3 accounts and also the 4 types of service in mind. But what happens instead? the side of service through words has become heavy. So if the side of service through the mind and actions becomes light, then what will happen? There will not be a balance. Will there? Because there isn't balance, the zeal and enthusiasm will also fluctuate. Firstly, you have to keep attention on this. It's like a seesaw. Both the sides have to be equally balanced. Only then you will enjoy the swing. Otherwise, there will be no enjoyment. But Baba tells you again and again not to change attention into tension. So Baba says, don't get upset. Just check yourself and keep an attention and keep accumulating. Many times you say that you have to pay attention, but then you change attention into tension. Do not do this. There should be easy attention and natural attention. Check and change. There is natural attention in the stage of being double light. Is it clear? You will not complain afterwards that you did not know, will you? No, Baba is safeguarding himself for when he's into the Dharmraj stage. No, we won't be able to question him that he didn't tell us. Baba says, secondly, what method of service will you adopt? That was an aspect of how to attain success. What method will you adopt? So earlier Baba was telling how will we gain success in service. Now Baba is asking what kind of method of service should you adopt? So firstly, the task that you've been continuing for 2 years, that of global cooperation, you will not say that you will have to finish it. You will say that you have to complete it. So you have to complete this task. So there's a difference between finishing a task and completing a task. And there was a program that was run, especially in the by the double foreigners on global cooperation. It spread over 3 years, 2.5, 3 years in the 1980s. So in the programs that you have prepared for this task, whether you have to hold functions or whether you have to prepare a book and give the message to everyone, you may hold a function or you may prepare a book, but definitely pay attention to the one aspect that you have to achieve more glory through less expense. And here Baba is not just talking about expense of money, he's also talking about expense or wastage of the intellect, wastage of energy, wastage of money, everything comes into this. Bap Dada has been adopting the method for every aspect from the beginning up until now, that it should not be too high and it should not be too simple. It should be in between. That's what Baba always says, that you should not be too much, too high into spending and lavishness, and you should neither be too low. Just always stay in between, which is simple and dignified. There are two kinds of souls. If you make it very expensive, people will say that you have a lot of money. And if you make it cheap, it doesn't hold value. This is why you should always keep it in between. Here also, Baba wants us to balance. And Bap Dada has heard through the trans messenger about the creation of the book. Whatever you have created until now is good. You have to create it because you have to complete it. But do not have a lot of expansion. Do not make it too long. Keep it short and sweet. It should also have the essence. Sometimes the essence is lost in the expansion, whereas when there is essence, it touches the intellect. A very important statement that Baba is making, that in the thought of expanding, we should not forget the essence. So we should know where we stop. This is why, and sometimes we keep going into expansion and forget about where we need to stop. And that's when the whole essence is lost. This is why the points are okay, The work being carried out is good, but do not keep your intellect too busy in that. What happens is then all the time we are thinking about the same thing, about that service. Baba expects us to be free of that and only focus on what we are doing at that time. So Baba says this should be in between. Either you leave it or you become too busy with it through the intellect. Either is extreme. In this also, you have to achieve more glory through less expense of time and energy of the intellect. But congratulations to all those who are working hard. So firstly, this task has to be completed. Even if you hold the programs in the next year, you have to complete it. It's a very good thing. It is okay, even if some children think that it is too long, that you have remained too busy, or that there has been too much expense. For whatever has happened is good, and whatever will happen will even be better. You must not get tired, but increase your zeal and enthusiasm. Baba is giving motivation to his children to continue on the path. So maintain the interest with which you began this program multifold. But as you complete it, use the method of more glory through less expense. Multifold, less expense. Did you understand? The writers of the book have understood this, have they not? You are making it very well. It's all okay, but do not stay awake at night and then say that you have become tired. Baba cares of everything and everyone. Do not do this. Your time should be fixed, because many think that if they stay awake at night to do their work, the work carried out will be good. Sometimes we think that in the night there's no distractions, the work carried out will be good. However, the intellect gets tired, and then because Amrit Vela is not powerful, the work that should be carried, which should be double, is only single. So we take more time to do the same task if the Amrit Vela is not powerful. So service, be it service lokik or alokik, if Amrit Vela is not powerful, then we take more time to complete tasks. That's a proven fact. So this is why there should be a limit to the time also. Nowadays, when it is the time of an examination for children, they are made to go to sleep before midnight. And don't go too long in the night. You have an exam tomorrow. If they have greater interest, they go to sleep at midnight at the latest. However, you should go to sleep even earlier than this. And then in the morning, study with a fresh intellect. That's Baba's Srimad. This is why Bab Dada does not like it when you stay awake late at night for a month or 15 days. Well, once in a blue moon is okay, but not continuously. Baba says there should be a limit. Even if it's a very essential task, the latest you should carry on with it is 11 o'clock and no longer than this. If you want to have a powerful Amrit Vela, you should not sleep the following day. You should sleep the same day. Don't think that I'll sleep the next day in the afternoon or something. Bab Dada is happy seeing the enthusiasm of even he has to put a limit so that the intellect is constantly fresh and you can finish the work of 2 hours in 1 hour with a fresh intellect. And so one task of the service is this: to keep yourself fresh, keep the balance, neither extreme is bad. Secondly, what will you do? You were told about this previously. At present in foreign lands, as well as here, a lot of time and money has been used for this huge program. So what I'll do is I'll probably skip this piece because Baba is talking about Sneha Milans. He says that having big functions is very good, but at the same time having Sneha Milans, which means just gathering small groups of folks, of people who cooperate, souls who are in Gyan or not in Gyan, are in touch, just organize gatherings and centers and have Sneha Milans, give them some vibrations and some little bit of Gyan, some Toli, and make them connected to you. That's gatherings of love. That's what Baba used to call. And he said that don't look at each other. What service is the other person doing? And I should also do the same. And Baba also mentions that you create your own program. Benchmark against yourself. Don't benchmark yourself with anyone else. And this was especially for the double foreigners. And Baba is also talking about service being a burden, or when we get tired in service, and we'll surely read through that. So Baba says that when you do these Sneha Milans and keep it simple, you will experience that at first you have a Sneha Milan for 5. Those 5 will bring 2 to 3 others. And so the next time there will be 10, and then there will be 15. So this will automatically happen. It will eventually increase because you do it by being double light. So Baba is saying, even while doing seva or service, just be double light. You do not have to do it with a burden. It's not a burden, but you must not become careless either, thinking, what service can I do now? I have already done a lot. Do not do this. So neither you become burdened, neither you become careless. Again, balance. And do all the seva and service while being double light. Service is the means to remain busy, but because you do it as a burden, you become tired. But otherwise, service increases happiness. Service enables you to claim the blessings of many other souls. How will you reach the 900,000 if you do not do service? The number of the first Satyugi souls that will come in the first year of Satyug. So do service, but underline the fact that you must do service, but underline the fact that you must not do service with a burden. This is important. Whether it is a burden of the intellect or burden of money, if you do it whilst being easy, service will increase easy. So you definitely have to carry out all the methods that you adopt. If someone becomes cooperative with you, gives a ready-made stage for a huge function, try it out. Don't look for the best. It's okay. Try things out. And so, although you will have carried out a huge function, there will have been neither the burden of the intellect nor the burden of money. We'll move a little more forward. Yeah. So mainly Baba's focusing service being double light. And he's saying that keep the aim that instead of using your own energy, also utilize a collective energy of all the cooperative souls that you can gather. This way they will also get the benefit of being able to do service, and you will be able to achieve much more instead of draining out the energy of the intellect. That is what Baba is trying to mention here. And then Baba also says that you can find cooperative souls from different professions. And when we get for souls from different professions, each of them comes with their own unique, when they all come together, the service happens with a much greater zeal and enthusiasm. And Baba says that when we do such service with the right intent and service from the heart, then that is when the heirs will emerge, who will take the inheritance from Baba. Baba calls them Varas quality souls. So they came, So Baba says that in these programs, some souls come as important guests, and then they become great, from guest to great when they take Gyan, understand Baba, and the karma philosophy and all those things and start doing effort, then they become great. So you must definitely continue to do one thing or the other, but Bap Dada is repeatedly reminding you to do everything whilst being double light. 4 times that you remember whatever you're doing, keep yourself busy in service, knowledge, but remain double light. Don't do it because you have to do it because you want to do it from the heart. Acha, this second thing is now clear. And now the third thing. In Bharat also have Sneha Millons with this method, and then finally definitely have a large function. In Bharat also, even the exhibitions bring a very good result. So then Baba's talking about the Sneha Millons. Yeah. Today, Bap Dada received a message that he had to speak about this. Okay, so some messenger might have told Bap Dada, and he's saying, I am just a server. He follows the message from the children. Acha. The third thing is self-progress. Previously also, you heard that you have to accumulate 3 accounts of self-progress. This is for self-progress. But as well as this, Bap Dada is seeing the result of expansion of service, as well as the instrument souls, whom you call the instrument servers. These are the dedicated sisters and brothers in the centers and Madhuban. Baba calls them instrument servers. Bap Dada does not use the word teachers so much because at some places, by considering themselves to be teachers, they become intoxicated. You start thinking that I'm above being a teacher. So Baba says instrument servers. This is why he says instrument servers. Now together with service, there should first be very good progress in the method of efforts of the instrument servers. So while we're focusing on service for others, there also has to be focus on our own self-progress when we are doing service. There should be progress, and it can be felt every day that I'm progressing in this knowledge. This is why whatever is happening through the speed of service, according to time, Bap Dada always says that it is good. However, seeing the speed of time and the final completion of the stage of service, Bap Dada thinks that if there is expansion in the method of effort of all the service can increase 4 times as much. This is why that service is most essential of all. Which service? The service around self-progress. Because if a Maharathi soul does a service, someone who's progressed in this knowledge, it impacts much more than somebody who's not yet. So we have to focus on our own self-progress. So Baba says, what will you do for this? Fix a definite time for service and definitely fix a separate time for increasing the effort. Willpower is now needed in the souls who are instruments of service. Baba is saying this in 1980s, and we are in 2020s. You know? This is all the more needed now. So by increasing your willpower, you can will others to the Father by making them cooperative. You know, I don't have to do anything. They are Baba's children. Many souls have a desire of your cooperation. They do not have any power in themselves. There will be many souls who also come, who need support and power. They are not able to function themselves, right? And then they will be dependent upon our powers and our cooperation. You especially have to give them help of your own powers. This is why, although these instruments who are servers have the power of all Shaktis, they do not have it to we have to give it out to others, right? That's our last stage. When we have so much, we've accumulated so much power as Shaktis that we are able to give it out to others. Whoever comes in, just in 1 second, they get whatever they want. Because they have to use it for themselves, they are not able to give full powers to others. They have to use it use some for themselves and some for others. Yeah, because they're also progressing. Just as Brahma Baba willed his powers to the Shakti, to the children. So this task is being carried out through that will, you know. So all the Shaktis that I'm gathering, all the powers that I'm gathering is for others. The more I give, the more I get, is what Baba is trying to say. At the beginning, he willed his wealth through which the yajna was started, and at the end, he willed his powers. And service is expanding through this. He gave everything away, everything. But Brahma has already done this. So it is the children who have to follow, is it not? I will not even keep my effort for myself. That is also for the others. That's the level of sacrifice that is needed. How many souls emerged through the will of one Brahma? So many double foreigners emerged after Brahma Baba became Avyat. They did come, did they not? And they are still coming. If all of these instrument servers will their powers in this way to the other souls, what will happen? So this is now essential, and this is our last stage. It is not now necessary for the souls who are instruments of service to waste energy on their own efforts. Even if they do have to have self-progress, there is also waste. So I think Baba is mostly talking about not being wasteful in our efforts, in our energy. So what we'll do is, in the interest of time, we'll just focus on some of the main points. We'll take another 2 minutes on the Murli. So here Baba is also saying, and it's a very important point that I wanted to bring out, Baba is mentioning that don't look at others. Sometimes what we do is, before doing anything initiative, we feel that if the others take, then I will take. And that's what makes a difference between the first person who takes the initiative. And in Hindi, they say, Jo Ote So Arjun, which means the person who takes initiative is Arjun, and the folks who follow him are not Arjuns, right? This is what Baba also did. So that's one thing that I wanted to bring out. Rest, I think Baba is only doing chit chat with the Madhubanwasis and all the groups that have come in. This is a long Murli. It's like a fatherly chit chat that Baba is doing. And fourthly, Baba also wants us, whatever service place there, at each place there should be some program. So this is mostly for our instrument servers. And then Baba says all the aspects are covered. Is there anything that is remaining? First of all, there has to be newness. I think that's all that Baba had to say. To those who constantly have the spirituality of purity in their face and in their activity, to the elevated souls who are brahmacharis at every step, to those who keep all their accounts of service overflowing, to those who have the determined thought for their progress from their heart, to those who make themselves the instruments to be number one in self-service, to such souls loved by Baba and especially loved by Mother Brahma. For today you celebrated Mother's Day, and so to the princely children of Mother Brahma, especially from the Mother Brahma and from Baba's heart, love, remembrances, and namaste. Such a beautiful Murli. It was like as if both father and mother were just chit-chatting and speaking to their children. So we will pause for maybe 30 seconds, and then we will go on. think we can start. Does anybody want to share anything from today's Murli? It was a very light chit chat from Bab Dada. But anything that you picked up for yourself that you would like to share? Okay, let me ask a couple of questions. So there was a point that came in where Baba was talking about service through actions. So what did Baba mention about service through actions? Anyone? See, Baba mentioned that service through actions is just being a part of a gathering, coming into relationship and connecting with others. All of this is accumulated in the account of actions. That's what Baba said. Then there was another point that Baba mentioned, that he said, how should we do service so that we are not burdened? Any thoughts on that? Why do we get burdened when we are doing service? And what was the method that Baba asked us to utilize? Yeah. Someone says natural and easy attention. Absolutely. So Baba mentioned that there should be natural and easy attention. Not the attention should also not be burdened. It should be easy and natural. Just keep checking and changing. And then Baba also mentioned in order to do service with the intellect, we have to keep a separate time for efforts and separate time for ourselves so that we can keep a fresh intellect, and stick to the timelines is what also Baba mentioned. What was it about sacrifice that Baba mentioned in this Murli? He spoke about willing the powers. So any thought on that? Could we gather something? Or does anybody need any explanation on how to will our powers for others?
Om Shanti. At this particular point, Baba mentions that also will your efforts. Your efforts are also not yours. Just put it in service.
Absolutely. So in the service, whatever we are doing right now, give it all away. Don't keep anything for yourself. It's not for me, it's for the other souls, because we will automatically get it, right? Whatever we do, the way the universe or the way the world operates is, what goes around comes around. That's what karma philosophy says. So we don't need to keep anything for ourselves. Whatever we are doing, just give it away for other souls, and accumulate for your future. That is how we'll be able to make souls cooperative for ourselves. There was another term that Baba mentioned, that your progress should not be according to the program, but according to what? Baba said that the progress should not be according to programs, that if somebody keeps a program, then I would progress. It should be from the heart. And I need to create my own internal program, my own internal bhakti, and I need to create that discipline and determination to do progress from the heart. That's what Baba is now expecting us. We are grown-up children. So that's what Baba was mentioning. Any other thoughts, any other questions from today's Murli? As someone very nicely said, sometimes Baba gets into each and every detail. Yes, someone says, once you start giving, Baba will start filling you in power, love, peace, etc. Baba will not keep child empty. He always keeps us fulfilled and bharpur. Absolutely. Yes, we have to focus on completing the task, not finishing the task. So there are two different aspects. One is just finishing it just because we have to, it's a burden. And one is completing because we want to. And Army sister, I'm now reading your message that I should be a little louder. Is it, was the Murli audible or was it not audible at all?
It was audible, but few souls found it that it was the voice was very feeble. So I just put the message just not to
Ah,
distract me.
I hope they were able to, everybody was able to hear. I was reading, so I didn't see it. Okay, so I think some very important motherly and fatherly tips that Baba has given us through this Murli. But overall, it was a very insightful Murli. And it spoke about purity, it spoke about how we should do service, what are the different means and ways that we can do service, what are the different accounts that are maintained, how we should focus on our own self-progress and also at the same time will it for others. What's the methodology to accumulate powers from the powerhouse? So I think we are fulfilled and we can go on to meditation, right?
Yes, sister.
Om
Okay.
Shanti.
Yes,
Om
please.
Shanti. Am I audible?
Yes, Sanjay Bhai.
Yes, Sanjay Bhai.
Sister, basically what I understood, that what Baba says, that basically spirituality is a grammar of life. And the basis of purity is thoughts, words, and action. And the essence, that is perfume of Brahman life, is purity. Baba talks about spirituality again and again because this grammar is missing. And basically when Baba talks about Brahmins and Brahmachari, that means Brahma jaisa man, Brahma jaisa vacha, and Brahma jaisa karmana. That is thought, word, and action. Baba very nicely talked about that word, mind, and action. That should be proper synchronization. And when there is lack of synchronization, we lose the balance of zeal, enthusiasm. That is, fluctuality will be there in zeal and enthusiasm. And Baba also said that proper in service, generally children get burdened. Why? Because as in the word service, you find that S stands for soul consciousness. But what happens when we do in service, come in service, what we do, sometimes we become body conscious. And when we are in soul conscious state, your state is elevated. You attain Ruhani state, that will become responsible. And you then, and when you are in the soul conscious state, the values, whatever the divine values which you're having, that will be translated into actions. And as divinity is there, value is there, then you become independent of adversities, and care, cooperation is required, and then excellent service comes. Baba also said that even a guest becomes great. Even a guest becomes great. And Baba, there was a question that how can we will Baba? So will is simply just like mera ko tera karna. So whatever we have got is from Bap Dada. And when we have got it from Bap Dada, it belongs to everybody. So what we have to do, whatever we have got from the Bap Dada, that should be distributed. In other words, as in Bhakti we say that whatever we get from Bap Dada is a prasad. So that should be distributed to everybody. That is, when you are distributing that prasad to everybody, you are willing. Absolutely. And also Baba said that the programs should not, your state or your progress should not be based on any program. That means Baba wants us to become independent. We should not be dependent on anybody. This independence, Baba first talks about become body conscious to soul conscious is also independence. When we become that, yes, we will do Purushad, if it is not based on anybody else, it is when we are just copying Brahma Baba, that is independent. Independence doesn't mean that we have not to copy Brahma Baba. The main essence is that copy and paste in our practical life, in Mansa, in Vacha, and Karma, as like Brahma Baba. That is, Brahmin means Brahmachari. Om Shanti.
Absolutely, Sanjay Bhai. I think Baba's mentioning here, don't reinvent the wheel just for copy paste. And that's the
Yes.
easiest thing to do,
Yes.
then you will be double light. When we start reinventing the wheel, and creating our own based on whatever understanding we have, that's when we feel tired. That's a
Yes.
beautiful analogy and concept. Thank you so
Yes.
much for sharing.
Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So what we'll do is we'll do a quick meditation and then
Yes.
close. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. Om Shanti. Soul stage. Being soul, full of love, peace, purity, awareness, knowledge, bliss, I'm radiating all of this out in my environment. I feel full. I feel complete. I feel fulfilled. I can visualize Shiv Baba as my father. Giving me and fulfilling me. I visualize my father giving all that he has out to me. His vibrations are making me complete, and through me, these vibrations are going into the environment. Baba says that you too become a powerhouse like me. And radiate powers, virtues, and strength to all those who need it. fulfill yourself from whatever you want, with whatever you want from me. I am your total source of power. You can connect with me anytime, anywhere. I will be there with you till the end. You just give away and hence accumulate. I can feel this energy flowing through me, through us. And I can feel their blessings coming back to me and fulfilling me further. With this beautiful experience, I am ready to start my day and come into action with the awareness and consciousness that Baba is there with me whenever I need him. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Shivani Ben. Thank you, all of you. See you tomorrow at the same time. Have a beautiful day.